Hi, thanks for joining us this evening. Here on the West Coast, everyone should have a plan to take care of themselves and their needs in the event of an earthquake. There are a lot of online resources for food and water that we can check, and other materials that everyone should have set aside in the event of an emergency. However, we know that some people will be unprepared, and some of what we set aside may be damaged or destroyed in a disaster. So to help fill this gap, your neighborhood homeowners association or apartment complexes, or even you, should get together and organize stashes of community supplies to help neighborhoods get through the first few days after a disaster. A few years ago, our North Beaverton neighborhood got together and decided to donate some funds and create some caches for our homes. We have 230 homes, and we figured we needed about 13 barrels set up with water kits for filtration, bathroom kits, and also hand washing kits. And we were able to do this by getting the donations, setting up the supplies, and making it into a 3-year project. We decided in the first year that we would do the WASH, or the water, sanitation, and hygiene kits. The second year we would do medical supplies, things that you typically don't keep in your home, like splints or burn gels. In the third year, we wanted to do some tools to help with light search and rescue. Also things that you don't typically keep in your house, like come-alongs and fireman's axes, that sort of thing. So the problem that occurred immediately was, how do we store all of these? And after a lot of discussion and a lot of meetings, it was decided to use 55-gallon plastic drums. And these came with a lid. They were securely attached. They were waterproof and critter-proof. So we reached out to a winery in Dundee and were able to purchase some used ones that had been sanitized and had those for our use. And these are the perfect size for what we needed. And we wanted to be sure they were secure. And because the bands went around the top and were able to be locked with a tiny padlock or with a zip tie, we were able to determine if somebody was actually ever got into them. And so far we've had 5 years and no problems at all. And so let's talk a little bit about what we actually put into our barrels for our water filtration kit. When you go to your pond or your nearest lake or river to get water, you'll bring it in a clean food quality bucket, and it will be poured into the top of your filtration water kit. In this kit we have a filter that is dome-shaped. The filter is about a gallon of water per hour. And in our particular barrels, we have 2 kits set up. Once it filters through, we have a little faucet here where we can make easy access to getting water when we need it. So to disassemble or put things together, we simply stack all these buckets one inside the other, and they easily fit then into our barrel. And our second items that we're going to be talking about is our sanitation kit or bathroom kit. And we have organized this so that it can also be very compact and put into our barrels. And one of the first things we purchased for our sanitation kit were these Anywhere toilet kits, because there's going to be a kid or someone after a disaster that really has to go right away. And this has a liner for either your current toilet, and if the sanitation isn't working, you've got a liner here that will be useful for a day or two until you can get something more permanent set up. When setting up these kits, you'll want to line them with a compactor bag. And that's because they are thicker than the regular garbage sacks, and you'll need to store them later for city pickup. Now, the system we use is called the New Zealand system they used during their earthquake, and it's a 2-bucket system with pee and poo and carbon. The carbon material we selected here are some heavy pellets, wood pellets. You could also use sawdust, leaves, anything that's carbon to cover up the poo so that you can keep out the flies and other things that might cause diseases to be spread. We also have professional rolls of toilet paper. These, you notice, are coreless, so they're very dense and compact, which makes it easier to store them in our barrels. And we have gloves for handling this as well. And so the third kit we have is one for hand washing. We want to use as little water as possible. So the clean water is put here into this gallon jug. It has a hole on the bottom, and it can be tipped or tilted by stepping on this little board here at the foot. You step on the board, it tilts, you wash your hands, you have paper towels to dry or soap to wash with. And I have to tell you, you really should not use regular towels for this operation. Either air dry or use something that's disposable. Hi folks, we have 4 more items we want to mention to you that we put into our barrels. One is this First Alert drinking water test kit. It has some strips so we can check the water before we actually put it into our filtration system to be sure it's clear and clean, not containing contaminants that might be coming from upstream or from a pond where you got your water source. So folks, we also have this portable aqua tablets that are similar to bleach, and they can help clarify the water so that you're sure that it's safe to drink in just 35 minutes. And one thing that a lot of us love is this 4-in-1 tool. It is spark resistant. It can be used to turn off your water. It can be used to turn off your gas, or to break out a window, to pry open a door. It's just great to have in your tool kit. And finally, this became an extra for us because we had a little funds left over, so every one of our barrels now has a privacy tent in it. This is a little bit like the shower tents you see campers using, and that's so that our pee and poo buckets and so forth can be set up private outside of a home, so that several people have access to it rather than having to go into someone's abode. So you might be wondering about the cost of this to the families and to the neighborhood. We were able to collect enough for each barrel, which ran between $300 and $350. And for 15 to 20 families, that came out between $15 to $25 per family, which really is pretty cheap insurance. We put 1 barrel in each section of our neighborhood of about 15 to 20 homes, and the neighbors who hosted the barrels then sent out a little letter to everyone to let them know where the barrel was located and to give them access to it. And only the neighbors in their actual little section know where the barrel is located. We also want to let you know that there's other ways to prepare by joining the CERT program. CERT stands for the Community Emergency Response Team, and all the people living in the Beaverton School District are able to take classes free at the Beaverton City Emergency Center in either, usually they're offered in April or in September, to learn how to do triage, search and rescue, suppress small fires, and that sort of thing. So the more certs we have around, the better we are prepared. On the Cedar Hills Ready website, we will post another copy of this video in a few days, and we'll also have a list of other resources in case you want to know what is in the kits for the water filtration or the bathroom kits and so forth. And of course, coming up on the same program, we're going to have a rain barrel collection demo, and that will be posted at the same time. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you'll get ready and get to work.